Set in 1838, Overtures is the first movements in the array of social intercourse between Africans and Indians in Guyana. 1838 was that volatile period in history of the colony when enslaved Africans were freed, abandoning plantation life, a move that dispossessed the plantation of its demanding labor force. The vacuum was filled by Indian indentured from India who were induced to embark on an adventure to British Guyana. An adventure started with alienation, an alienation that was to bring grief and joy to the land. The unfolding of this overture is carried by Somar, an enterprising Indian teenage boy, a thinker schooled by missionaries in India during its filtration era, and by Juba, a freed African, building a wooden house while awaiting the birth of a child carried by his wife Phoebe. The exchanges between the two also served to explore various features of the cultures of the two peoples, hinting at social and cultural clashes to come. The delivery of this child, the first African in Guyana to be born outside slavery, in the home of an Indian family by an Indian midwife, is the direction and intention of this novel: respect, tolerance, and cooperation. On the feminine side, the story is carried by Phoebe in childbirth, symbolic of Africans grappling with this new burden, freedom, and by Ruth, Phoebe's sister, an educated mulatto youth having a romantic relationship with Somar, a hint of miscegenation to follow. After that coming together of the two communities, other forms of cooperation became evident. One was the Africans helped the Indians to get to Crosby undetected to air their grievances. This move shifted the story from the plantation to the city of Georgetown. It was in Georgetown that the story climaxed. It was race day at Durban Park where all roads led to for the occasion. All the main players were gathered with Juba losing his savings with which to finish the house, consequently making a decision to escape his responsibility by heading into the gold bush. It was from here where Somar and Ruth eloped because the relationship, Indian boy and mulatto girl, was untenable. It was here where the feature race of the day ended in a photo finish, and the jockey, one African and the other Indian, making a pact to work together. Somar waited impatiently for the 6 o'clock bee to raise its alarm. This natural alarm clock was a huge green-black horn beetle that heralds the evening with a piercing, reverberating shriek, pitching from a sharp low to a loud high with sonorous intonations. In his wanderings about the estate, Somar had observed the timings of the changing tide, and he knew any time now the seawater would turn back inland. With the first chirp of the 6 o'clock bee, Somar galloped towards the estate main coker. Juba was hunched over and fighting with a handle that, when turned, would set cogs into motion to either raise or lower the sluice door. Still got some time before letting it down, Somar declared in a breathless manner that ironically lent an air of urgency to the situation. Too little by, Juba was put out by this advice. Why always bothering me? Me not interfere with no one. The boy has regained his composure. Me just passing yaso. But why always passing where I there? Where I there, you there, the man retorted. Is you just put yourself in my way? Suddenly, the man darted in a clump of black sage bush. Viciously, he tugged at a fishing rod hidden therein. Seeing that the hook was fruitless and baitless, he surreptitiously threaded thereon another live earthworm. Resetting the makeshift rod and taking great care to conceal the undertaking, Juba returned to his station. Of course, the curious young man wanted to know why the secrecy. Of course, the big man wanted to silence the little boy with a loud shut up, mind your own business. But he knew this particular individual would would not be satisfied, would not even go when satisfied. In the little time it took Juba to think on this matter, the bile in him broke and bitterness came out of his mouth. We can't catch fish cause of you all. The puzzled and startled youth stuttered out. Oh, what we do? We all do. The big man's huge frame was quaking. We all do. Don't play innocent like you ain't know what's going on. You make manager stop away from fishing in the estate canal. He passed down what said the fish is for y'all coolie who live on the estate now. That is lie. Lie. Since y'all come, things get hard for we. Despite slavery and all that, we never had it so hard. Things really bad since y'all come. Y'all just come and y'all get all kind of privilege. Y'all get payment and day off and holiday on top the bargain. Y'all get free clothes and all y'all food comes straight from India. It still lies. Is now be for blame. Is the white man playing game again? Is the white man playing God again? I'll miss planning for others. Blame the white man, not Abby. He want punish y'all for leaving and not working on the estate. He make plan, but this time he wrong. He didn't know y'all would have left the estate so completely. Y'all upset the plan. He hurt. He want revenge. Me not understand that. Is he free, Abby? How come he free, Abby, and then turn wrong and treat we so? It's cause he wants y'all for work all the time free. That's why you cut down the fruit trees and kill off all your pigs. How little boy like you know all these things? I just move about. Me watch, me listen, me think, me understand English good. Me learn English at mission school in India. Plenty Abby Kuli know English and enough people ain't know we know. Put all that aside, I still say is your all cause for this hardship on we Creoles. The first waves to lap the concrete foundation of the cocoa captured the attention of both man and boy. Gingerly, Juba began to turn the wheel in order to let down the huge wooden door, thereby effectively shutting out the onrushing sea. But the door came partially down and stopped. The huge black man threw his weight upon the iron gray handle, yet the gate wouldn't budge. And the muddy salt water poured into the freshwater canal, changing slowly but surely the black sweetness to brown ugliness. Suddenly, Somar began climbing to the top of the cocoa. It was dangerous, but the nimble youth accomplished this feat easily, still clutching his hakia stick. Juba, watching utter disbelief as his "get down, little boy, before you get hurt" went unheeded. He soon realized the intent of the boy. A piece of driftwood was wedged between the door and its channel. The boy was now pounding the offending material to powder. As the door gave and rumbled its way down, Somar straightened himself and took in the scene. The white sea, apparently smooth and calm on the horizon, rough and roaring near to land, the monstrous, gnarling mangrove, frightening off the erosion forces, fighting to keep land intact, the puny wall built of mud and rocks, and the adjoining black coker to keep out the high tide. Two wide, black, shining canals running almost parallel, forming the side boundaries of the plantation. Crisscrossing drains and dams met these canals, forming an effective scheme of irrigation and communication. Then there were the few houses of the freedmen on either side of the public roadway, black and winding, sometimes red. The big house in white, the factory blackened with glints of galvanized, and the drab loggies. Somar zoomed in on where he lived. He saw many streams of fireside smoke forming a lazy cloud over the state ranges. Fields, some in fallow, others to be reaped. The serene pastures, the swamp, the forest in varying shades of green, a wonderful sight, a wonderful layout, effectively started by the early Dutch settlers way back in the 17th century and improved upon by the British. The wind and the height made Somar heady. Raising his arms like Christ on the cross, Somar plunged into the salty, sweet water below. Juba, hurrying down to the edge of the canal, asks, "You hurt, little man? You hurt?" Somar skinned his teeth, stroked away from the bank, only to return and accept the large black hand that bodily plucked him out of the red cascading water. Still in the set position of friends shaking hands, the boy said, "Me name Somar. Somar mean Monday. Me is Juba." What Juba mean? Thereat, the man burst out laughing. What Juba mean? Juba mean Monday too. The boy joined in the mirth of Monday meeting Monday.